Hello, folks. So I'm here at my UTA for the reserve, and we have a little downtime after our blues inspection that we had today. So, with that kind of time, I would like to talk about if you join the Air Force, especially active duty, and you do not like it, or if you find out that it's not for you, are there options for you to get out? And the answer is yes, but it might not be as easy as you think. So the first way of getting out of the Air Force is to finish your enlistment. So I signed up for 4 years, and I finished my 4 years, and that's how I got out. now, now that's probably not the answer that a lot of people might want to hear. So, but it's the best option because one, when you finish your 4 year enlistment or 6 year enlistment, and then you separate, even if you separate into the reserve, you are eligible for VA. So right now I have VA benefits while being in the Air Force Reserve. Since I did separate from the active duty and I got my DD 214, I am eligible, and now I'm in the VA. So now I have free insurance through VA, and I can go to any VA hospital to get medical treatment. Another benefits about having finishing 4 years or 6 year enlistment is you have all your veterans entitlement for VA loans and all those fun things, right? And then you also have your full GI Bill. You have your full GI Bill, not half, not you have your full GI Bill. If you do not like that option, which I think that's kind of the main question, like to get out before your separation date, the answer is yes, there are a few ways. Now, the best way, other than waiting to your separation, is to palace chase. So what palace chasing is that you transition from active duty into the reservist, and this process is seamless. Now a lot of people will be like, oh well, it's still in service, but in the reserve or in guard, you only work one weekend in a month and 2 weeks in a year. I kind of view my role in the reservists as more of not a full, like not a job, as in more of a retirement after active duty, but I'm coming in once a month to advise and to work. That's how I view it, and I like it. It's a lot different environment. It's a lot more chill of an environment. And if you dislike a lot of things about active duty, like toxic leaderships or bad working hours, then you're gonna like the reservists because you don't have to have those kind of things, or you don't that those kind of negativity isn't as prevalent in the reservists as it is in active duty. Other than those, separating with your 4 year pilot chasing, which is probably the best way to get out of active duty if you do not like, there is a few other methods that I do not recommend. So there is conscientious objector. So if you are in the military and you decided that what the military is doing is not in line with your moral belief or your religious belief, you can get out with conscientious objector. Let's say if you don't agree with the warfare that we perform or whatever reason, you can do that. Now, the reason I don't suggest you do that is because if you go through that route, it's going to be close to a year and a half from the time you apply to get that separation, and then you have to see all these counselor and they need to make sure that it's legit. That could take a year and a half, and in that time they'll put you in these undesirable jobs. So let's say you have a job in vehicle maintenance or whatever. You're not going to be working as vehicle maintenance for that, year and a half. They're going to put you into this special unit where you go around picking up, cleaning the flight line. You do like grunt work. It's very hard work. The leadership there aren't really too nice to you. That's why I don't recommend it. There are a few other options to get out of the military to get honorable discharge. But of course, there are ways you can get out too that isn't honorable, such as getting an Article 15 if you start disobeying orders, if you refuse to come into work, you refuse to do this and that. They might Article 15 you and dishonorably discharge you. And the problem with that is you're not going to be entitled to any of your benefits that you earn up to that point, right? All that disappear. So the best way to get out of the military is either to do your 4-year or 6-year commitment, finish that, and then get out and get the most benefit, or palace chase into the reserve or guard and do the Air Force part-time. Those are the best option. So this leads me to my last point, okay? I want to talk about basic training. So let's say someone, and this happens a lot of people go into basic training and they decided they don't like being told what to do, they don't like being put down, they don't like being talked down to, and they wanted to get out. Now, the best way to get out of military or basic training is to finish basic training. The easiest way to get out of basic training is to finish basic training. The easiest way to get out of tech school is to finish tech school. Because when you're in those two training stages, if you were to do an objection or whatever, they are going to transition you from recruiting training into med bay. So when you're in med bay, you still have the recruit status, so you don't get any kind of respect at all. These people still yell at you and all those things, but you have to be there until they process you, and you're not priority, right? Because you are not a priority anymore if you're not training anymore, because you're not contributing to the Air Force mission. You are a hindrance to an Air Force mission at that point. So if you were to flunk out, okay, you're gonna have to be in med bay for up to a year. I have seen some people have been there up to a year, maybe even over, and they're not really treated well. So the best way to get out of basic training is to finish basic training, and the best way to get out of tech school is to finish tech school. Same rule apply to tech school as basic training, because if you do not finish it, you can't palace chase or palace front. But on top of that, you are held into a special holding unit where you have to do grunt work for them. So you might do CQ, you might do cleaning of the dorms, you might do sweeping of the street. It's not really, favorable job for you to do. So if you find out that the Air Force is not for you and you cannot wait the 4 years or the 6 years separation, the best thing to do is to palace chase or the palace front from active duty to the reserve after you finish basic training and tech school. Once you get to your first base, that's the best way. All right, if you have any question, make sure to comment below. If you guys have any idea on what I should do for my next video, if you have any questions that you would like me to answer in the next video, please comment below. Bye.